Hello and welcome to the International Jurist Virtual Event, the U.S. LL.M Blueprint. I'm Donna Campbell, Managing Director on the International Jurist team. During this event, we'll be discussing what makes a great LL.M program, hear admissions advice, and learn next steps after you've been admitted. The event will be 2 sessions with a 15-minute break in between. So joining me today are 6 law school sponsors to share information about their law school LL.M programs and offer expert advice. The law schools today are Brooklyn Law School, Stetson University College of Law, Loyola University Chicago School of Law, University of Houston Law Center, Seattle University School of Law, and Case Western Reserve University School of Law. For you attending the event, when you join, say hi in the chat, let us know you're here, and share where you're joining from. Feel free to ask questions in the chat at any time throughout the session. Our law school experts will be answering those as we go along. And at the end of session 1, if we have time, we'll get to some of those questions as well. Also, for you joining us live today, we're doing giveaways for coffee and prep courses. And our first set of winners will be announced at the end of session 1. And please note that our next digital issue of the International Jurist magazine will be available on May 27th. If you are currently not receiving this, please be sure to sign up for the International Jurist e-newsletter at nationaljurist.com. You can sign up for the international newsletter right from the homepage of the website. Okay. Let's get started. Our first session covers what makes a great LL.M program and how to choose. Joining this discussion are faculty members from Brooklyn Law School, Stetson University College of Law, and Loyola University Loyola University Chicago School of Law. We will bring them on stage and they'll introduce themselves and their law school. And we'll start with Masa.
Thank you, Donna. I appreciate you. Good morning, everyone, at least where I am. My name is Dr. Masa Alizadeh, and I am the Director of International and Graduate Programs here at Stetson University College of Law. It may be interesting to know that I was once in your shoes. I was once an international student who was trying to decide what program fit me best. So this work for me is, and my passion for this work is beyond just a job. So I am very much looking forward to interacting with students, giving them the best advice, regardless of it being aligned with Stetson College of Law or not. But I always have a holistic approach because I know firsthand what the experience is like, what the decision making is like. So very happy to be here with everybody. Stetson Law is located in Tampa Bay in Florida. Stetson University College of Law is actually the first law school in Florida, established in 1900. We are very well known for our palm tree, as you can see with the picture. That's a picture of the campus actually behind me. A palm tree road, beautiful campus. And we are known nationally for our advocacy program and our legal writing program, both ranked #1 in the U.S. News Reports this year. And we offer multiple LL.Ms. So LL.M in advocacy, LL.M in elder law, LL.M in international environmental law, and LL.M in international law. That are the graduate programs in the LL.M field here at Stetson Law. At College of Law here at Stetson, the campus is only a law school. So we don't have other programs, other graduates, undergraduate programs on campus. So every student you see on campus, every faculty member, and every staff member that you see on campus is focused on our law students and assisting them. The class sizes are pretty small because we bring in about 250, 260 JD students in each cohort with a good number of LLM students. But in terms of campus wide, because we don't have other programs and it's just a law school, the class sizes are pretty small. We have 12 courtrooms on campus, which is a quite significant number. We're very well established in the Tampa Bay area, nationally and internationally, but very well established in Tampa Bay area with a very strong network of alumni, judges, graduates, and yeah, glad to be here today. And thank you, Donna. Looking forward to having a discussion on how to best choose an LLM degree.
Thank you. Thank you. And now we have Felicia.
Hello, everyone in all time zones. My name is Felicia Dickerson. I'm coordinator of international programs at Brooklyn Law Schools in Brooklyn, New York. I've been with the school now for 13 years, and in the last 5 years working in international programs, administering our LLM program as well as study abroad and advising students, non-immigrant students, on visa and work authorization regulations. Brooklyn Law School is a private law school founded in 1901. We're coming up to celebrate our 125th anniversary. This means that we're a standalone law school that is only law students, LLM, and JD students. We're not affiliated with any other university or college system. The LL.M program has been operating for the last 15 years, and we have over 200 graduates from that program working all over the world. Geographically, we're in a prime location in Brooklyn. The campus is just blocks away from business incubators in the tech industry in downtown Brooklyn and near Dumbo. We are just steps away from state and federal courthouses, prosecutors' offices, government agencies. So many opportunities to sit in on legal procedures and also get experiential learning experiences in those locations. Our LLM degree is designed specifically for internationally trained lawyers interested in American law. That's the one LLM degree that we offer. We do offer, in addition to that, some specialization certificates in business law, intellectual property and media law, and immigration and refugee law. So those are certificates in addition to the LLM in American law. Our students have depending on your resident status, have the option of a full-time program, which usually takes 2 semesters to complete, or part-time you would normally complete in 3 semesters, so a year and a half. And we offer a dedicated career advisor specifically for international students. We have legal English specialists on staff to help folks who maybe, or perhaps English is not your first language, to help you in building the skills. We also, I mentioned the specializations, and then we are a small program, which means that we can offer individualized attention to students. Our faculty and staff are incredibly accessible to you. You can get individualized academic advisement to sort of cater your program to what your career goals are, in addition to meeting New York Bar eligibility requirements. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this discussion. And I should say I am not a lawyer, but for some reason, in my career, I've worked a lot with lawyers, so it's ideal that I've landed in this spot because it sort of combined my background working with lawyers in different capacities and also working in with international people. So I'm really excited to be here and to let you know more about our program and give you some advice on navigating this process.
Wonderful. Thank you. And now let's bring up Insa.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Whether you're joining virtually now or watch the recordings later, you did the right step. You're looking for information. I think that's what we're going to talk about a lot today. So I want to share a PowerPoint about our program and Loyola. So that is not working right now. That's okay. Anyway, so Loyola, there it is. Thank you so much. So this PowerPoint begins with the end of your time at Loyola, the graduation, which is a highlight, but the education we'll talk about now. A couple of words about myself. I immigrated to the United States 3 decades ago as a freshly minted lawyer, and I came to Chicago, enrolled in a JD program because Illinois has some licensing programs issues with foreign lawyers, but we'll talk about that later too. So I did the JD, and at that time, there were not many international students at that school, maybe 3, and they didn't know what to do with me, and I didn't get any advice. So when I had the chance to join Loyola 15 years ago and to start this LL.M program, I based it on my own experience as a foreign lawyer from a civil law system. So one of the principles is flexibility. And that's reflected in the structure of our programs for the international lawyers at Loyola. We have 2 tracks because we know that you come from very different backgrounds and have very different interests and career goals. So the first track, very important these days, we have many, many more lawyers who want to take the bar exam in the United States. Many of them already live here and they want to go back into practicing law after immigrating here. So the curriculum is based on the New York bar exam requirements for foreign lawyers taking the bar exam. But within this, you have a lot of flexibility to choosing your own focus. And then when you pass the bar exam, this is what happens. You go to New York and you will be sworn in, and then you take a photo and send it back to me. It's very nice. The other track is international law. That's for lawyers who probably will go back to their own country or really want to focus on working in public or private international law. In both tracks, the US law track and the international law track, you have a certificates focus option. We have certain specialties that the law school focuses on, and they're all listed there. But if you want to do something completely different, that's fine, as long as we have the courses and as long as I approve it. So that's the flexibility. There are other points where flexibility kicks in. We also, in addition to the on-campus programs in Chicago, offer several online programs. Some 100% online in child law, compliance, and enterprise risk management. Law. We have a very program in rule of law for development that's hybrid, partially online in the fall semester, on campus in Rome, Italy, at Loyola's Rome campus. And then we have hybrid options for the on-campus programs as well. So I think we are very similar in this respect. Our program is small. We don't have 450 students, but 25, around give or take 25. You can start in the spring semester, you can start in the fall semester, you can finish within 2 semesters, or you can take more time. It's very flexible. You enroll with the JD students in most of your classes. But of course, we have 2 classes that are only for the LLM students, Introduction to US Law and Legal Writing. Money. It costs. That's the United States for you. We charge per credit hour. The total tuition is $47,060. There are installment plans. We have scholarship options, as probably everybody does. And this is my picture show, which I will not comment. Chicago is a very cool city. It's a big city. It's a walkable city. It's amazing. Most people think about Al Capone when they hear Chicago. That's 100 years ago. And I will end here. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for those introductions. That's great. So now let's get to some questions and let's get some insight and some advice to prospective LLM students. We're going to start with the first question, and this will be directed to Masa. Selecting an LLM program can be challenging. What are some examples of what makes a great LLM program? What is important to consider when choosing an LLM program? And what are most students asking about?
Thank you, Donna. Yes, LLM, LLM or any other really program is definitely challenging to choose from a lot of different options. However, the best LLM, if I want to say it in short, the best LLM program for you is what fits you and your needs the best. I always encourage my students or the prospect students to kind of look at it as a reverse approach and see and kind of gauge what your end game for completing an LLM program is. What is it that you're trying to achieve? Are you trying to take a bar exam and becoming a practicing attorney in the United States? In that case, you want to choose a program or a school that offers courses that will set you up or prepare you for taking a bar exam, right? Are you already practicing in international law or in a relevant area abroad, and you want to add a LLM from the United States to help you advance your career for promotions or whatnot? Because we all know it's a valuable, definitely degree to add to your resume. If that is your end goal, to either go back to your country or work at an international company, or use this degree to advance your career, then maybe a program that would offer a pathway for that would fit you best, and not necessarily taking the heavier courses for the bar exam, right? Or are you looking to actually becoming a practicing attorney where you can sit for any bar in the United States? In that sense, there are LLMs that pave the pathway from an LLM to a JD program. And that would enable you to have a JD degree and sit for any bar and be just like any other student who takes a JD program. In that sense, a program that would facilitate that pathway may be the best fit for you. At Stetson, we do offer all 3 pathways. We do have, much like Insa was speaking about their programs, a program that would prepare you to sit for the New York bar. We have a public and private international law track, which would enable you to advance your career with an LLM. We also have an LLM to accelerated JD program that would potentially waive the LSAT, which is a huge, huge hurdle for a lot of, especially international students to pass. So really thinking about, okay, what do I want to do with this degree would be a good good way to narrow down the program that could fit your needs best. Another point or variable to consider is the campus. Um, would it be the campus environment, the campus culture? First of all, and I always say this to my international students, because especially those who haven't visited the States before or whatnot, you want to narrow down what state you actually want to live in, depending on if you have family there, if you have support system there, if there's a particular weather you would like to live in. Would it be north, south, east, west, proximity to other cities, whatever it may be? Kind of, you can narrow down, okay, this state and this state and this state are the states that I would like to be in, because that really determines, your practice of law as well eventually. So narrow down the states that kind of interests you, as well as campus life, campus culture. What type of campus do you like better? Do you like big campuses that have, over 30,000 students? That would not be only a law school, let me say that. So law schools that are housed in a bigger campus, or no, do you prefer a smaller, more intimate campus that it would be a lot easier to kind of find resources around, make friends probably, whatnot? How much do you feel like you already belong to the community? And the admission process and kind of interacting with your admission representatives kind of are a good indicator of that, if you're not able to physically visit the campuses before. If you are in the States, or if you are in the area, schools have open houses. They host open houses. I strongly encourage you to attend an open house for the school that you're thinking about. They're a really good indicator of what the culture would look like. You get to interact with alumni, current students, faculty, all that. Housing needs are also a big deciding factor for a lot of students, especially those that are international. Does the school have the resources to provide housing either on campus or through connections that they have? So that's important. And pre-arrival and post-arrival services, would it be from, or getting your visa and your immigration documentation to you in a timely manner once you get here, or the pre-orientation, giving you information you need for relocating if that's what you're doing, also, as well as post-arrival services. If you do have a temporary immigration status like a F1 visa, a student visa, there is a lot that goes into maintaining that, and there's a lot that you would need support with. So you want to kind of consider and get a feel of what those pre and post arrival services are. Other opportunities such as clinics, externships, how strong the network of alumni are, how much are they willing to assist you, what kind of events does the law school host to kind of help you in those networkings, and essentially, in one word, how well supported you feel, or they're able to provide those. With everything that I am mentioning, Stetson Law is able to provide support for all of that, from the housing to the externships, clinics, to pre-post arrival services, to a really strong alumni network. But these are just things that you should consider, regardless of what program or what school you are thinking about, or your top 2 or top 3 is. Of course, scholarships are a big consideration, financial considerations for a lot of the students. And in thinking about scholarships, I did want to mention something that you may not think about, that you should consider cost of living in that particular state, city, whatever it is, your rent, your anything, cost of living, just in general, in your considerations for scholarships. So it might seem like a bigger scholarship from school A, but the rent might be 3 times than school B that was giving you a lesser scholarship, right? So just look at that financial as a holistic approach, and not just the number of the scholarship, as well as other considerations like, do you have family in so and so city that you can stay with that would eliminate that cost, or any other kind of support, and also how long the program is. The scholarship might be bigger, but if the program is longer, eventually that will be a more expensive program. Or if they are, more, I don't know, more expensive per credit, and that's how they calculate their tuition. So look at that scholarship and that financial as a whole picture, than just the number that you are offered, I want to say. All in all, I think, just seeing what school or what program is going to help you get to your end goal would be the right program for you.
Well, let's get some other insights on this as well. Insa, what can you add to that?
Yeah, thank you. This was very exhaustive. Thank you very much, Masa. Yes, you hit all the points. Geographic difference is important. The United States is so diverse in that regard. So that's something you can focus on, just as well as big city versus small city. They're the notorious 5-6 big cities, or the well-known 5-6 cities, but there are many others as well. So do take a look at that. What I wanted also to point out is ranking difference. As you know, everybody knows that there is a ranking system for all the law schools based on various factors. And recently there has been a bit of an upset because the number one is not the number one anymore. So these rankings, is important to know, are of the JD programs. So there are different factors that play a role, like bar exam passage rate and employability, et cetera, that do not directly relate to the LLM students. That means when I go recruiting, many students just want to go to New York, and it's a fantastic city, and to the top schools there. That means there are 1,000 more applicants, right? So it's more competitive. Do not rule out the smaller schools that are not ranked top 10, 20. There are many benefits to many schools. If you don't need global recognition in your degree, then and if you want to have more attention, for example, because the program is smaller, as we pointed out already, ask for the academic support that the school provides to LLM students, because there is a strong urgency to focus on the JD students to keep the ranking up. So what does the school offer? So we have at Loyola an academic support office, and I'm very graciously, I love them because they work with the LLM students as well. And since we don't have many students, the professors approach me and say, well, listen, that student has an issue with this and this academic concept, so can you do something? And we do. So we make sure that LLM students succeed. And then the specialization options, if you know what you want to focus on, great. Look just for those LLM programs and you will find them, and then you coordinate what you want to achieve. Most students don't quite know exactly what they want, or they realize later, once they see all the course catalogs and the course offerings, that they may want to try something new. And that leads to the question, what courses can an LLM student enroll in? If you have a very specialized LLM, your choices are probably focused on that field. If you have a general option or a flexible program, enrollment program, then you have all the courses available to you that the school offers.
All right, wonderful. Felicia?
Yeah, I want to reiterate a couple of things that Masa pointed out, which was location and your end goal. Thinking about like where you want to practice law. If that's in a specific state in the U.S., you want to be looking at what the bar eligibility, the admission, what is required to be admitted to the bar in that state, and whether an LLM degree will get you that and it will qualify you for that admission, or whether you will need to move on to a JD degree to meet that eligibility. So that's definitely, location is something to think. And also in terms of location is thinking about, if you have an idea of the field you want to be specializing in or focus on, are there faculty who are experts in that and have experience in that field? Or is there a network of alumni who you can connect to in that field, where you can start to build connections and maybe gain some experience while you're studying, and also career paths after studying? So those are things to think about. And on the financial front, you want to be thinking about building a comprehensive financial plan. Scholarships are one component of the financial plan. So be looking at outside scholarships that you can apply for that aren't offered from the school. You want to be looking at loans, and if you're eligible for federal financial aid, you want to be looking at what your financial resources are. If you have family support, what resources they can help you with. So yeah, it's you want to have a holistic view of how you're going to finance both your studies and your living expenses while you're studying. That's very important to be part of your whole plan. The other thing I will say about specializations, yes, if you have an idea of like this very specifically focus of what you want to study, that's great, but a specialization is not absolutely required. You can always choose courses in that specialization that you want and just do well in them, and not do a full degree or certificate in that area. So yeah, those are things I think that are really important to keep in mind. Just to think about the end goal, or not the end goal, but what's your 5-year plan, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. And that ties into the LM being, for this session, the blueprint. How do you get there? What's your plan? And thinking about that end game. We're going to jump now to what to consider of choosing an online LLM program. And Insa, will let you start out with this one. What should be considered about choosing an online LLM program?
Yes, and thank you. So online obviously has some strong benefits as opposed to the on-campus program. And most of my students prefer the on-campus program, but let's face it, the reality is that many students are precluded right now because of visa issues from coming to the United States. So the online programs offer a flexibility that the on-campus programs do not offer, which is you don't need a visa. So it also allows you many students cannot just leave their families and their employment to come to the United States for a year. So the online options allow those students to get the education they want to have. And the US legal education is very important globally. So that provides access, educational access to the US legal education. So that's just a great opportunity to balance family life, work life, and education. Some aspect you need to look at is the teaching format that the online programs offer. So there are two ways generally to teach online. One is in real time, where you have a specific day and time of the day to study where the classes meet virtually, or asynchronously. So we all experienced that during lockdown. We had our students all over the world, and some of them got up at 2 a.m. to attend that environmental law class that was taught at 4 p.m. in the United States. It's not ideal. And so the solution to that is asynchronous teaching. Now, that means that the students can select when they complete this segment of the course. So in US law schools, you get a syllabus, which is a list week by week, class by class, what the assignments are, what the teaching times are, and what the subjects are. Because you do need to prepare for each class in advance. Very different from many other countries. So you have lots of readings to do. And the asynchronous format allows students to prepare on their own time and to complete the assignments on their own time. Now, this is not just watching a video, hopefully, or a recording of the professor talking into the camera. It also includes participatory elements. For example, the professor will give an assignment that could be a discussion board. So there will be an assignment, the students submit their comments, and they're required to do so, and they will be graded on that. That's in lieu of oral participation. And this is an exchange between the students, which then means you get to know your fellow students. So that's there are many, many tools the professors can use that are not possible in a real classroom. In a classroom, you can have teamwork and you set everybody into a different row. That's not as easy. I like teaching online because I can create breakout rooms and send the students into the breakout rooms and then pop into the breakout room and see how the discussion goes and help, and then everybody comes back. So it's many people probably think it's just recorded classes, and but that's something that you need to check with the law school. What tools do they have at hand? Another point is, how do the students who are not physically on campus engage with the law school? Because these are fantastic communities and you should be included. So are there options for the online students to attend the extracurricular academic events, such as symposia, conferences, workshops that maybe the Career Services Office hosts about what are career options for lawyers? There are coffee chats, there are student organizations, there are many ways to get involved with the community. So that's another aspect. And that's really part of the US education as well, right? That you experience the US life and way to communicate and analyze. So look for the student services for the online students. How many staff members are there? What's the technological support? Because often online access is a little bit hampered in some countries or some regions. So what happens if you can't attend because your internet doesn't work? So that's something. And then, so of course, the cost consideration. You save money on not having to travel here, not having to find housing, not having the visa expenses. Of course, that's part of the excitement of having an on-campus program. There are hybrid options. As I mentioned before, the pro law program that Loyola offers is one semester online, the other on campus in Rome. We have a weekend JD program at Loyola, which combines on-campus teaching every other weekend in Chicago or every 4 weekends, and asynchronous classes. So that brings people from all of the United States to Chicago because this is a great opportunity for them to do exactly that, keep working, have their family, and their education.
Wonderful. Felicia, anything to add for that?
Yeah. Again, I'll go back to what's your long-term goal, because an online LLM is a great opportunity for many people, and it widens the scope of who can enroll. But also, you should think about what your plan is to do with the degree, because for example, we do not offer an online program because the New York Board of Law Examiners requires that first degree of law and LLM credits be from in classroom instruction. So no remote, no correspondence courses. So even if the handful of remote classes that we offer here at Brooklyn Law School, we don't advise that LLM students enroll in them. So yeah, you definitely want to keep in mind like what qualifications you'll need, whether that degree will meet the requirements of the work that you plan to eventually do.
Okay, wonderful. Masa?
I was going to actually echo what Felicia just said, that if taking a bar is a goal after completing an LLM, you definitely want to check with that particular state's requirements for an LLM to take the bar, because most of them do not allow online programs to, like, it wouldn't qualify to sit for the bar. So you want to do your due research for that if taking bar is something that you're considering. However, we have learned that in our online programs that they're more specialized in terms of, like, for example, Stetson's LLM in advocacy and elder law are online, and these are already practicing attorneys that just want to specialize now in one of those areas. So the courses are quite specialized, and it helps them advance their careers, or just become up to date if you are a graduate, from many years ago. And I think Felicia covered it very well. I just wanted to add those to it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So now we're going to move on to the next question, and Felicia is going to kick us off with this one. Does your law school hold informational sessions in person or virtually? And what do you think is important to ask? And what would help with this process? And so that also segues into externships, clinics, and practical training. And Felicia, I'll let you.
Okay. Yeah, we offer admissions webinars throughout the year, virtually, mainly. So we can reach people where they are, and we do a comprehensive overview of the program itself, the application process, and usually what you'll need to meet New York bar eligibility, so people have an idea ahead of time, and what they can be doing now during the application process to prepare for that bar eligibility portion of things. So in addition to that, we do occasionally have open houses on campus, in person on campus, for prospective students to come and visit the campus and meet some faculty, maybe have a mock class, that sort of thing. Then if you've applied and been offered admission, we did Students Day, same thing. You get to meet faculty, have a mock class, meet your cohort, that sort of thing. So the one thing I will say is, if you live in the area or if you're visiting the area, plan a campus visit. There's also opportunities to sit in on a class, so you get sort of a real world feel for things. And I think if you have the opportunity to do that before arriving for school, that's really great, because you get to get a sense of the place and the people and your place in it. And I think that's a good precursor to arriving for the program. In terms of I think all the things we're covering right now in this program are the sort of the things that people will be asking along the way. So yeah, those are definitely things. If they're to go to information sessions, ask as many questions. There's no such thing as a wrong question. There's not too many questions, because the more information you have, the more informed decision you can make. So please, absolutely, we're more than happy to hear from you and hear from you again if you have follow-ups. And yeah, please do get the information you need to make the wisest decision for yourself. In terms of, are we talking about clinics and externships?
Yeah, let's just move into those externships, clinics, practical training opportunities, and then we'll let the others share that as well.
So a lot of you will be coming in with education and possibly prior work experience in the field. But if you're trying to maybe change the subject area you're working in, or you change your interest area, yeah, you definitely can look into experiential learning opportunities at whatever school you choose. There's clinics. We have in-house and external clinics and hybrid clinics that we offer in various areas, where you get to represent real world clients and in cases and in helping to build businesses and advocate for them in the political realm. So yeah, practical experience is the best experience. So yeah, you want to be looking at what the school has to offer, what you're most interested in, and also the process for getting involved in those things. Because I mean, for example, clinics there's an application process. Once you arrive, there's an application process to be admitted into a clinic, and you should be aware of that process and the deadlines involved. Because I have to say, once you start law school, it can be like fast and furious, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of information coming your way. But if you're truly interested in something, you want it to be on your radar. You want to be tuned into the information that's being offered to you, and make sure that you get your applications in, and that you're involved in that process, so you don't miss out on those opportunities. There's also, public service. We have a public service law center here that also can plug you into opportunities in the public sector, government agencies, the government itself, nonprofit organizations, NGOs, all those. There are opportunities to get experience in different areas. So that's something else you can look at. And then also externships with firms and organizations and various employers where they need legal assistance as well. So I think, yes, just know what's available. And also, I think there should be an element of flexibility. For example, if you're really keen on a clinic and there are limited spots and you don't get that spot, what's your plan B? What's your plan C? Because as I said, there are plenty of opportunities. So if you can be very honed in on one, but be flexible enough to see that there are other things that will help you as well, and aid you in building your skills and your network for opportunities down the road. So yeah, I think that's so. Yes, have an idea, but have some flexibility in what you may what the reality may be once you're here and on the ground.
Excellent. Masa, anything to add to that about the information sessions and the externships, clinics, and practical training?
Similarly, we do host occasional webinars. We reach out to the students who have been in contact with us or have inquired before, but they're always posted on our social media as well, in case anybody is interested. We do host several open houses a year. That's usually JD open houses, but our LL.M students are more than welcome to join, to kind of get a feel for the campus and interact with faculty and current students, as well as we do usually do in-person outreach in terms of recruiting. So if you're in South America or Europe this October, November, please keep an eye on the LL.M tour, and we'll probably have a chance to meet with you all. We also offer one-on-one counseling. So if you have any questions, anything, would like to schedule a time for a one-on-one counseling, please do reach out. We're always happy to answer any questions. And in terms of clinics and externships, I mean, Felicia covered a real good portion of it. I can just speak for Stetson that we do have a independent clinics and externships office with over 300 externships and clinics opportunities per year. So we work with them. We at the international office work with the Office of Clinics to place our international students, as they do have sometimes immigration requirements and status requirements as well. So definitely, I mean, Felicia covered it really well with think about what opportunities you're interested in or what your plan B is in case there's not the exact placement that you are looking for. But with the limited number of our LLMs and the big number of externships that we have available, we haven't had, thank God, knock on wood, any difficulties placing our students. So we'll continue to do that if anybody's interested. It's not a required part of our curriculum, but courses can be substituted with clinics and externships if a student is interested in doing that.
Wonderful. Insa, your take on all of that.
I will just quickly, yes, I love the virtual options we have. So we host monthly webinars where we just do a PowerPoint presentation about everything important and interesting and fun. That should be combined with individual sessions because everybody has their very own specific questions based on where they come from, what they want to do, and frankly on how informed they are already. So in an individual session, people, I think, are more forthcoming with questions than in a webinar. That's just what it is. So do avail yourself of these options. It's really nice to touch base for us with the applicants and to know them before they arrive on campus. In terms of practical skills, so that's a fantastic feature of the United States legal education. You have the core classes in the first year of the JD program. Anything that's, you would study at home, so constitutional law, civil procedure, contract, sales, business organizations, criminal, etc. And then the second and third year for the JD program, they very much focus on practical skills or specialized courses. And so as an LL.M student, you need to find out whether you have access to those classes. Clinical options are sometimes limited because they're so popular for the JD students too. So you need to see whether you can actually do that as well. And that is, as Masa mentioned, an advantage of these small programs, because if you have 450 LL.M students, you cannot possibly, I imagine, easily place them. So we can work these students into those courses. There are moot court opportunities. Vismoot, for example, is an international competition where some of our students have participated. In the skills classes, again, anything from contracts drafting to client negotiation to you name it. There's a lot offered and a lot to choose from. Question is whether you're eligible. These are great options for students on a visa to get practical experience, because during the first 2 semesters, you typically are not allowed to work outside or get an experience, be employed outside. But there is a curricular practical training option after the first year, after the first 2 semesters, where you can do that. So that's a side.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to take the last 5 minutes and do like a little lightning round. I have one final question as you wrap up our session. So I'm going to ask each of you, what is one piece of advice that you would give a prospective LL.M student who's just starting this process? One thing that they can keep in mind And Masa, I'll start with you. What's your nugget of information?
Write your list of priorities and stick to it and narrow down what's important to you, because with the amount of options and with the amount of information you'll be receiving, it's very easy to kind of drown in all that information. They're very valuable information and very great options, all of them for different people, but stay true to what is important to you and what your goals are, and kind of what do you call it, like filter through the information with what would serve you best and pursue that.
Wonderful. Insa, what's your nugget of information?
Exactly my point too. Have a matrix, assign points, whichever way you want to do it, or just go with your gut feeling. Another point is, we are all we're recruiting international students, and it's a law school. It's not science. You need to speak the language, and there are all these language tests, which are just an indicator of what you're capable of. But that doesn't mean that you will be sailing through just because you scored 110 points on the TOEFL. It's a lifelong pursuit. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm still finding new words when I open the New York Times that I have not been aware of or nobody used, that I need to look up. It's the vocabulary is huge. The grammar is fairly easy to get used to, but the devil's in the detail. Writing is very important. So that's why we have a 2-semester 4-credit-hour legal writing course based on the JD course, because this is where you learn how to apply what you studied, how to do research, how to write like an American, a different way of analysis. So do yourself a favor, read the newspapers. There's so much written about the Supreme Court cases and the legal situation right now, separation of powers, etc., that you can prepare yourself for free. So that's my 2 cents.
And Felicia, your negative information.
Yeah, I would second what Insa said about language skills, which are really important. We're going to be assessing them before, but we're also going to be watching out during, and we have resources available on campus if you're having any issues with communications, whether that's writing or understanding what's happening in the classroom. But one of the things to note is, if you we'll let you know what resources we have available to you to support you, but you need to recognize if you're struggling to reach out for those resources before you hit crisis mode. The other thing I would say is, if you're in when you're in the application process, keep the lines of communication open. Like I said, be proactive about asking your questions and follow-up questions, but also be responsive when we're reaching out to you, because that means we're paying attention to your application and we want to know more. So yes, please be responsive to that.
Wonderful. This has all been wonderful. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Great. So that brings us to a wrap of session 1. So we are going to take a 15-minute break now. We'll begin again at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time for session 2. And that will be about LL.M admissions advice and next steps after you've been admitted. So I want to thank you all again. It's been wonderful information. And first, before we leave for break, here is Haley from our International Jurist team with the names of our coffee gift card winners.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our event. We love getting to know you. Before we head into the break, like Donna said, I'm just here to announce our Coffee on Us giveaway winner. Please forgive me if I say your name wrong. I'm just awful with names. But our winner is Shitu Adwal Hafiz. If that was even close to your name, I'll drop my email in the chat, but reach out to me so you can accept your gift, and we'll be back in 15 minutes.
Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist. and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, with practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, with practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, with practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, with practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, with practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, with practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope you'll check it out and make this process feel just a little bit easier. Hey everyone! While we're taking a quick break, I just want to share something with you. We just released our brand new issue of the International Jurist, and it's made specifically for students just like you who are interested in studying law in the US, for practical advice, school insights, and stories of students who've gone before you. If you're planning your next steps, this issue will help you on your journey. I hope.
All right, welcome back. If you stepped away from your computer, come on back. We're live here with session 2 of our International Jurist virtual event, the US LL.M Blueprint. So yes, we're getting started here with session 2, and this will cover LL.M admissions advice and next steps once you've been admitted. I want to thank you for joining us today. Once you join, say hi in the chat. Let us know you're here. Share where you are joining from. We'd love to hear from you. Also, throughout this session, you can put questions into the chat, and our law school experts will be answering those as we go along. So let's light up the chat, and let's get started. Joining us are faculty members from University of Houston Law Center, Seattle University School of Law, and Case Western Reserve University School of Law. We're going to bring them on stage one by one, and they'll introduce themselves and their law school.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Glickman. I'm the director of the Global and Graduate Programs at the UH Law Center in Houston, Texas. It's very nice to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Let me share my screen and hope it works. Okay, here we go. Oh. So the second slide, please, Haley. Thank you. Okay, so we offer 6 LL.M concentrations, as you can see in the top table right here, in energy, environment, natural resource law, health law, intellectual property information, IPIL, international law, tax law. And for those who are foreign trained attorneys, we have a US law if you are interested for sitting for the Texas bar that can take care of bar eligibility requirements. A couple of pictures you'll see. Houston, we are the 4th largest city in the US, and we're very internationally and diverse metropolitan area. We are a lower, more competitive cost of living compared to other US cities, and we offer the energy capital of the world, including the medical center, the only largest medical center in the nation. And of course, NASA, hundreds, thousands, I would say, of corporations, law firms, and organizations, whatever you are interested in. The law school itself, we have a brand new building. I still say it's brand new building, even though it's about 4 years old now. We are very proud of it, and it houses about 900 law students on the UVH campus of 48,000 plus students. We are a tier 1 law school with several highly ranked programs. And within our LL.M program, we have about 60 students any given year, with about, you can see, 90% are foreign lawyers. So they are various nationalities and speaking multiple languages. We are in our nascent phase. We are rolling out, beginning a synchronous distance education program for 2 of our top LLM programs with tax law and IPIL, where we are offering a majority of the classes online, synchronous distance, SDE as we call it, where students can now participate in classes remotely anywhere in the US. We're still working out, the kinks and everything, but it is gaining a lot of traction. And of course, we offer a legal English certificate program. It's 100% online. And it's for those foreign trained attorneys who want a beginning start on learning the legal education and how to go to school here in the US. So thank you so much. And I can also give you this information later also. But thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you, Jennifer. Great to meet you. Now we're going to meet Chris.
Hello, everyone. Good morning from the Emerald City, from Seattle, Washington, in the U.S. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And it's a real pleasure to get to be with other legal professionals from around the country. It's a great geographic distribution, schools that definitely can meet your needs. So what I want to do actually is I tried this 3 times in our test environment and it worked. We're going to show a short video. International Jurist uses some really good web conferencing software here. So we're going to show a short video, and but it's something to keep in mind is that there are 4 students. What I've learned is that prospective students want to hear from current students and recent alumni. So there are 4 students who have now graduated, and 3 of them have taken the bar. All 3 passed. It really shows kind of that hope that can really drive the outcomes. And the 4th didn't need to take the bar for what she wanted to do. So without further ado, I'm going to share the screen and we're going to start this video. I'm seeing some messages that there might not be any sound. Thank God we had captions. So if you didn't have any sound, you had captions at least. But I wanted to let you know really that one of the cool things about Seattle is not only are we the home of Amazon and the home of Microsoft and the home of Boeing and Costco and all these big companies, but it really is a beautiful setting. And so if you're interested in technology law or you're interested in American legal studies, this is a great place to not only learn, but really just experience what is it like to be in a beautiful city. So thank you so much, and I'll hand it back to Donna.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Yes, and we had subtitles there, so it's all good. We're now going to meet Liz.
Hi, my name is Liz Wojcinski. I'm Director of Admissions and Student Services at Case Western Reserve University School of Law. And I have a short presentation to show here. Case Western Reserve University School of Law founded its program for international LLMs over 30 years ago. We were one of the first programs in the United States to establish an LLM program just for international students. And we have about 1,800 alumni all over the world. We have some recent rankings for Case Western Reserve University, which is a private research university, and some of the rankings for our law school, particularly in international law, health law, environmental law, business and corporate law, and the quality of our faculty research as cited by other scholars. We have 4 LLM degree programs. One of them is US and Global Legal Studies. It's our general LLM degree, and it's well suited for preparing for a US bar exam. It also accommodates a minor concentration of 10 credits within the degree, and you can choose that 10 credits concentration in pretty much any subject. And our advisors will help our students choose the concentrations if they want to pursue one. Our most popular LLM degree is the one in international business law, and we have excellent programs with students enrolled every year in intellectual property law and also in international criminal law. We offer to our international students too a Doctor of Juridical Science degree. Some of our LLM graduates stay for that SJD degree. A few of them will stay for a JD degree. We're located in Cleveland, Ohio, and we're in an easy day's drive to major cities like Chicago and New York and Washington, D.C. We're located on Lake Erie. You can see in the horizon there the one of the 5 Great Lakes, Lake Erie, that we're located on. You see the downtown skyscrapers that make up downtown, the business hub of Cleveland. And we're in a park-like setting, about 200 hectares on the east side of the city. It's the cultural hub for the city. We call it University Circle. Of course, Case Western Reserve University is located there. And many of the premier cultural institutions like Cleveland Museum of Art and Severance Hall, where the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra plays. And you can see there across the street, the Cleveland Botanical Gardens. We enroll students for both fall and spring, and our application deadlines are noted there. There's no application fee to apply online, and we accept applications on a rolling basis. So as soon as you complete your online application, you will get an answer about admission and scholarships. We look carefully at scores for TOEFL and IELTS, and we also accept Duolingo, and we have tuition scholarships that range between 20 and 40% for students who add geographic diversity to our class and to students who score very well on the language exams. So that's a quick introduction to our LLM degree programs, and I welcome the opportunity to talk more about the LLM admissions process in general. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Wonderful. So thank you for those introductions. So in the previous session, we had talked about what makes a great LLM program and how to choose. In this session, we're now going to get specific on LLM admissions advice, and then the next steps after you've been submitted. We have a number of questions to get to, and we're just going to go sort of around the room here to answer those. And we're going to start with you, Jennifer. The first question: what should applicants do first when starting their LLM application? And what can they safely leave for later?
Thank you, Donna. I think the first thing that you need to do is create yourself a checklist of all the documents and the items that you need for an application so that you're not missing anything and you're not forgetting anything. And then start to clearly define your goals to begin writing your personal statement. And you can save, updating your resume and, fine tuning different things. You can save that for the very end when you have all your documents. But writing that personal statement and having clear goals and objectives of how you're tying in why you want to go to a particular school, what you have to offer, what that school can offer, and how you can enhance your legal education and your expertise should be a very good, solid personal statement. Another thing that you should prioritize is transcripts, especially if you're coming from another country where that right now the geopolitical situation can take weeks, if not months sometimes, to get something as simple as a transcript being sent to another school or the LSAC organization for the application. So as soon as you know where you are thinking of applying, start requesting your transcripts. Another thing to prioritize: recommendation letters. You are contacting somebody to write a very detailed, very specific, genuine letter about you. Sometimes you might have been out of school for a very, very long time, and you are seeking maybe a professor or a colleague or a supervisor, and you need to give them a much time as possible to craft a very genuine, sincere, very detailed letter, speaking not only of your past education experience, but also your current work experience. So we want to give recommenders enough of time. So prioritizing a statement of intent and your recommendations should be top priorities, and fine-tuning, updating your resume can be done later. But I think it's very handy to have a checklist of all the documents so you're not forgetting anything when you're applying.
Wonderful. Chris, anything to add?
I love it, especially when it comes to references. That's the big thing. Take the time, build that time into the process. Very important.
Excellent. Liz?
Just to keep in mind deadlines. Deadlines are so important. We often can admit some students after the deadline, but you limit your ability to enroll because you need to apply by those deadlines in order to go through the necessary I-20 and visa processes. So respect the deadlines. They're in your best interest.
Wonderful. So we touched briefly on, what makes, talked about a personal statement. And so we're going to start with Chris with this question. What makes a compelling personal statement for international applicants? Maybe what should they avoid?
I appreciate the question. I'm laughing about what they should avoid.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what I want to see is the person behind the application. Who is it that who we're thinking about admitting to the school? Who would like to be here? It's a fun process to really peel back the layers of the onion. Who is this person? Wow, we get to learn about them. This is really cool. I love looking at applications, believe it or not, because everyone brings a personal story. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the personal story. We value as my colleague Liz, who if you apply, you get to know Liz really well. as my colleague Liz says, we value authenticity over a polished statement. We're really looking for almost like a cover letter on a resume. And so, what I've seen is that sometimes when people rely on, as far as what not to do, when people rely mostly on like an AI generation engine or machine learning to sort of rewrite their statement, they lose their writer's voice and they lose the authenticity. And that's a great time to really showcase who this person is. And I can always tell because AI spits out the same kind of stuff every time. We could always tell, it's like, oh, it's the fourth paragraph. Okay, well, now it's beyond academics. There's certain tells that we see. So by all means, folks, use your own writer's voice. We value that. We look forward to it.
Excellent. Liz, comment on that?
Yes, I think it's very good advice to put yourself into your personal statement, and of course to write it yourself and see it as an opportunity to tell us more about yourself and tell us a story about yourself. Sometimes just to say, this is the path that I see myself on. Well, tell us a little bit about what motivated you to make that decision to pursue a career in law or to pursue an LLM in the United States. Maybe there was a class that you took or a person that you met, or those kinds of things might seem like they're too detailed. But that's the kind of genuine story that you can add to your personal statement that really makes it stand out and shine.
Excellent. Jennifer, your thoughts?
I have to echo Chris and Liz that authenticity is key. This is not the arena for writing a legal brief or showing, that you want to, enhance your legal education. We want to know about you. That's the story is really important, and being sincere and tying that through, that through line of what brought you here right now. Like, what have you done in your, academics in the past, or what are you doing right now in your work? Your experiences, what led you to this moment, and make that story your own. AI, yes, it generates the same thing for everybody with maybe a little bit different details, but each applicant, your story is unique, and we do want to hear from you.
Nice. Yes. And so part of that application are letters of recommendation. And so we're going to, Liz, let you start with this one. How should applicants choose who's going to be writing that letter of recommendation for them? Can they go about getting that process started and completed?
Sure. I think we value, of course, the letters of recommendation that we get from your university education, your prior degrees, the professors who have taught you in the past. You're applying for an academic degree program. So those are our first preferences for letters of recommendation. So it can be, so it's important to select the professors with some thought. And you want to select a professor who knows you well and can also do what we were talking about in the personal statement, maybe to be able to tell us something about you in that classroom, that you were particularly excited about this topic and you participated well in class discussion, or the paper that you wrote on this topic was very well done. So when a letter of recommendation gives us that level of specificity, we really trust it more than maybe something that is more general. So of course, sometimes it's hard to go back years ago to a university education where you haven't had contact with professors in the past. So it's still important to try to pick somebody who you trust to kind of write that letter of recommendation, and you can help your professors. I see it here in the LLM program all the time as our LLM students are getting our letters of recommendation ready for their next degree program. So give your recommender plenty of time to write the letter of recommendation, and help the recommender by, attaching a copy of your resume, maybe even a copy of your transcript. And don't just say, I need a letter of recommendation, but say, I need it for this purpose. And that will help the professor kind of put, the professor's experience of you as a student in context for this next job, this next degree program that you want to pursue. So that can be really helpful. And I would say too that we do value letters of recommendation from employers. And so it could be, hopefully, maybe somebody that you've interned with in a legal setting, but it could be another setting as well. So that those would be equally fine. Generally, we require 2 letters of recommendation, and yeah, certainly one of them could be from an employer.
Excellent. Jennifer, anything to add?
I was going to say exactly what Liz says. It's super helpful to attach your resume, especially when you haven't, had much contact with a professor. And also having, an outline or bullet points that you want them to emphasize that they may have forgotten that you worked with on their class, or that you especially want them to focus on the letter to make it very, detailed and specific. So.
Excellent. Great ads. And Chris, anything?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I think especially for younger applicants, the professors are probably going to know you best because they've spent so much time with you. What we found is that it just sort of a function of the visa environment. We've had a lot of people in Seattle coming back to school who earned law degrees 30 years ago, or sometimes even longer. And for them, some of their professors aren't even with us anymore. And so for them, they've asked, how do I fulfill this requirement? This is unique. And so I've said, go find, people who really know your critical thinking skills, how you solve problems, how you work with others, how you work through tricky situations, and that's been valuable. But I completely agree. I think especially for anybody who's fairly new out of school, I think your professors probably know you the best. And I think all of us have seen some beautiful letters of recommendation that really reinforce that fact.
Excellent. That's a good segue to the next question, which is, how do schools weigh professional experience compared with grades from a foreign law degree, even if there's some time in between these two events for you? Jennifer, do you want to kick us off with that?
Sure. Thank you so much. So it's definitely a holistic review. The committee looks at everything, all the criteria, and they're weighted, they're weighted fairly equally. The academic performance, it shows that you can succeed in the legal education, especially where it's more rigorous. It can be more rigorous here in the US. Your work experience shows that you have used the practical application of what you learned in the classroom. And so I would tie that back to the personal statement showing that you have not only, made the grades, or maybe you didn't make the grades, but how it ties into, your work experience and what you've been doing since, and that you can succeed. So I would say the weight is equally important. We don't hyperfixate on just one thing and say, oh, this is great, or this is not so great. Have to look at, overall the applicant and each of the, aggregate parts as a whole person.
That's wonderful. Chris, your thoughts on that?
I think especially with the professional practice versus the grades, it really gets into that dichotomy, that juxtaposition between theory and practice. And so we're really looking for that blend. We keep using the word holistic because that's exactly how all of us would evaluate this. So we really look at both. And I would say the professional experience is important. I really value that because it gives me great insight into what's this person been doing, what are they hungry for, how could we as a school help them to get to where they want to go.
Excellent. Liz?
Yes, I find the resumes are helpful to read when I read applications for admission, just to give me a sense of the balance between education and work. And the resumes can help me understand a little better the kind of work that you've been doing in these different settings. And it doesn't have to be legal work, but sometimes those skills that you're using in those different jobs could be useful in your LLM education. So don't forget to include a resume that's succinct but also detailed about what your experience has been professionally.
Excellent. Let's talk a little bit about rolling admissions. And Chris, I'll let you lead off. And here's the question. Now, how do rolling admissions really work? And what's the best timing to apply for the strongest chance at funding?
Thank you, Donna. I was hoping I was going to get this question, actually. And so this is great. Rolling simply means that it's constantly moving. So a lot of admissions, and the admissions that I'm more used to, have very concrete set dates, and they're there for a reason, as we've already talked about. And with rolling admissions, there tends to be a lot more flexibility. So if someone misses the opportunity to get a visa for the upcoming term, we just push them forward and we consider them for the following term. For us, we admit both for fall and for spring. And so for us at Seattle U, we're rolling on that. I think where the dates become highly valuable are in two different places. One is, as we've talked about, the I-20. If you need a visa to study here, you're going to want to build in some extra time. So that becomes more important. That actually becomes, at least for us, the more significant of the dates. And I think the other one too is if all of the schools have some very generous donors, and certain donors will say this scholarship is meant for a particular time. And so if you're aiming for one of those scholarships, then you do want to apply by a certain date. But if you're like, I have government funding, or, I've got this isn't a problem, then the rolling admissions, you can kind of apply and you'll be considered for the next cycle.
Wonderful. Liz?
Rolling admissions is just a nice way to get an answer about admission and scholarship as soon as possible. And I think it just behooves everybody to apply as soon as they can get their application complete. So there are ways that you can defer admission to a later term. So if you find that you've invested in an application maybe too early and you're not ready because funding on your end hasn't come through, it's better to apply and invest in the application and start a conversation with the law school, and then we can make adjustments for the calendar that works for you.
That's great. And Jennifer, your thoughts on that?
Thank you. I think Chris and Liz already have the clear definition on rolling. We are exactly the same. As they come in, we process them into the committee to make decisions, because our work processes also don't stop, within the semester, and we have a lot of different things going on any given time, finals, midterms, events, and, the beginning of the semester, midterms, end of the semester. So it's very important for not only the I-20, exactly, because that can take a very long process of also getting interviews. For scholarships, the earlier you turn in the application, the more, the funding can become available. I'd like to add a third one, class enrollment. If you wait till the last minute to apply and get admitted, you're not going to get the classes you want that first semester. And it's very important because, especially if you're in a one-year program, you're already setting the tone for that first semester of not getting the classes you might want because they're already full. So I think those three key things are very important to, as Liz said in the beginning, deadlines, they're very important to respect and to be aware of. Thank you.
Wonderful. And that sort of leads us to this next question that Liz is going to lead us off with. And that is, in this whole LLM application process, are there most frequent errors that you see coming from the foreign trained attorneys? I mean, how can they avoid them?
I'm looking at my notes here, and some of the things that I wanted to say have already been said about giving yourself enough time to apply for admission, to make the personal statement personal, unique to you. One thing that I could add is that sometimes in your professional life, in your student life, maybe you're most used to using texting apps like WhatsApp or WeChat or whatever, and maybe email is not a major form of communication that you use. But I would say we like to see students engage with their emails. So that is the way that we primarily communicate with you as you complete the steps of your application, as you complete it, as we notify you about admission. So it's really important in the application process to be checking your email every week, and just to keep things moving along. And I would say that is what I can add there that would be particularly helpful to international applicants.
Wonderful. Jennifer, do you see anything to add there?
Keep your information consistent. Use your legal name. Once you get in the program and you have colleagues and you become friends, then nicknames are fine. But we want to see the consistent through line of what's on your documents, your transcripts, your resume, and everything. Super important, especially since these documents carry over when you're applying for bar exams.
Excellent. And Chris?
This one's a little different. When I got hired, I said, we're going to interview every one of our candidates because I really want to have an interview before we issue a decision. And in talking with most of the candidates, it's a delightful conversation. I get nervous, though, when folks say, I'll meet you on WhatsApp and I won't have my camera on. And I'm hearing the typing in the background whenever I ask a question, and it is a pause. And then they'll repeat something that is clearly AI generated. I'm like, no, this isn't happening. So that's something is, again, be authentic. And if you can be on camera, please be on camera with the interview. And we know that, a lot of foreign trained attorneys are speaking English as a second or third or fourth language. So I am completely understanding if somebody has a document and they're kind of reading off of the document in places. I get that. But I don't want somebody to type in the question, wait 10 seconds, and then be able to just read what the AI generator has spit out. So we want to know who you are.
Absolutely. Being yourself, that's very important. Thank you. This is all great information. So we have one last question to round out session 2, and this will be round robin for everybody. Here's the question. What's your best advice for LLM students after they have been admitted? What would be next steps? And Jennifer, we'll start with you.
Thank you so much. Engage often and early and sign up for everything, all the events ahead of time, and show up. If you're going to RSVP, show up. It's so important because you'll meet staff, faculty, your future, colleagues, and you'll get a lot of information that you can digest and disseminate at a later time. Even if it's just for an informal session of getting to know your future classmates, it's so important to develop that community before you even arrive to campus so that you're prepared and that you feel energized and excited to start the program.
Wonderful. Chris, to you?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, next step, celebrate with your family. Take that admission letter, hold it up, and just let everybody get excited about it. And I say that for a couple of reasons. One is it's a big moment, and we're happy for you. Your family should be just elated. They should be so happy. The second thing is you may need their help with funding. So you kind of want to build that up a little bit with them too. And then speaking of funding, definitely the I-20 process, thinking about, okay, the funding documents, let me get these bank statements together, that kind of thing. And that's, I know some folks are like, oh, this is so much, I got admitted. I'm like, you did get admitted. I need you to follow through on the rest of the process so we can get you through the visa interview. And then of course, things like housing and dormitories, where will you stay? Will it be off campus, on campus? And that's a great question to follow up and ask about as well.
Thank you, Chris. And Liz, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's where we do engage with all our admitted students and enrolling students on WhatsApp and WeChat, and we really try to start to build a community among the new and even the current students that are continuing in the LLM program. And those chat formats can be a great way to trade information with fellow students. Another thing that's important is if you're thinking about taking a US bar exam, it's nice to be able to get the documents that you need to send to the state authority organized while you're still in country. It can be difficult to get original transcripts that you're never going to see again sent to the State Bar Association, and make those connections with your former universities before you leave. And it doesn't cost anything to do that, to get the credentials there and to start the foreign educational evaluation going. So you may decide, maybe you're undecided, but just to get that going will help you a lot when you get here and start your LLM.
Wonderful. This has all been wonderful. Thank you all so much. And with that, we come to the close of our International Jurist virtual event, the US LLM Blueprint. Thank you for attending. We hope that you received some valuable information and insight from the law schools as you map out your LLM journey. Be on the lookout for our next International Jurist magazine, which will be available May 27th. And again, I just want to say thank you to the law schools. And so as we close today, there's one final thing, and that's Haley with our International Jurist team, and she's going to announce the winner of our TOEFL prep course giveaway. So until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello again, everyone. If you didn't see me last time, my name's Haley. I'm with the International Jurist team, and I'm here to announce our TOEFL prep course winner. So drum roll, please. It is Fernanda DeCero. So I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. I'll drop my email in the public chat again. So just feel free to reach out to me to accept that giveaway. And once again, thank you all for attending. Have a great rest of your day.